tier set bonuses, and they have all been revealed. You might already have seen it, but everything is in here. All the classes, all the specs are in here. So yeah, you can go over it. We can go over it together, but if you want to skip ahead, I will just slowly work my way down. It's in a weird order, so I think it's alphabetical order. I will post a link to it in the description box below. If you want to check it out, go for it. So let's go. For Death Knights, Blood Death Knights, the 2 set bonus will be when a Bone Shield charge is consumed, you have a 20% chance to generate 1 rune. So more rune generation, which is probably pretty nice. I don't play Blood, but looks pretty good. Then the 4 set bonus is after 10 Bone Shield charges are consumed, gain 10% damage and haste for 10 seconds. Now I'm not sure if this is a great set bonus. I mean, you are a tank. I'm not sure how good haste is for a blood DK. I assume it's pretty good. But why do you want 10% more damage on a tank? It's nice to have a bit more damage, but if it gave you like leech or damage reduction or something, that would probably be a bit more in line with tanking instead of 10% damage, but okay. The Frost set, the 2 set bonus is Obliterate and Frost Scythe. Critical strike damage is increased by 15%. The 4 set bonus is that they have a 15% chance to not consume Killing Machine. So you have an increased crit chance and a chance to not consume Killing Machine, which is pretty nice. Kinda like that one. Then the Unholy one. Bursting a Festering Wound grants your ghoul Vile Infusion, increasing their damage and attack speed by 10%. But it's only for 5 seconds, but you can kinda burst the Festering Wounds pretty rapidly. I wonder if it stacks up or if it stays at 10% for 5 seconds and just refreshes if you do it. Nevertheless, it's still a good bonus, I think. The attack speed is nice. I'm not sure how much damage the ghoul does, but it looks like a good thing. Then the 4 set bonus, your primary ghoul attacks have a 15% chance to increase your damage and haste by 10% for 8 seconds. The chance is increased during Vile Infusion. Yeah, so you wanna keep the Vile Infusion buff up to increase the chance that you get extra damage and haste. 10% extra damage is pretty big. Could be a really good set. Havoc Demon Hunter. Now I do not play Demon Hunter. I do not know anything about it, so I would not know if this is a good set, but let's check it out. Chaos Strike and Blade Dance. Chance to critically strike is increased, and the critical strike damage is increased. That's pretty nice. Critical strike chance and critical strike damage. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Chaos Strike and Blade Dance have a 20% chance to increase the damage you deal by 8% for 6 seconds. And your critical strikes increase this chance. It looks pretty good on paper, but again, I do not play Demon Hunter, so I wouldn't know. For Vengeance, Sheer Fracture deals 20% more damage, generates 20% more fury, and a 15% chance to generate an additional soul fragment. And the 4 set bonus, Spirit Bomb and Soul Cleave have a 12% chance to deal 50% more damage and cause targets they hit to deal 15% less damage to you. That looks pretty good as well. Now Druid. I have played a lot of Druid in my days, but I never played Balance as I didn't like it. I've always played Feral and Resto, and every now and then I take out the bear and tank a bit. Star Surge and Star Fall increase the damage of your next Wrath or Starfire by 50%, stacking up 3 times. So you can just use your Star Surge and Starfall to stack up and deal 150% increased damage. That's pretty good. As long as you can keep spamming Star Surge or Starfall to get the stacks up. When you enter Eclipse, your next Star Surge or Starfall costs no astral power and deals 50% increased damage. Looks pretty good. But again, I haven't played too much balance, so I do know the spells, but I'm not sure how big the damage is. I know Wrath is your spam ability. Not sure if it still is, but it always used to be. So. Feral. Rip and Ferocious Bite damage is increased by 5%. This looks really weak. Like right here. Unholy DKs have a 15% chance to increase the damage and haste by 10% for 8 seconds. Here it's only 2 spells that get 5% increased damage. Then I assume the damage of Feral, the base damage, will already be pretty good. Otherwise it will again be a meme spec and fall behind on others, but we'll see. The 4-set bonus, finishing moves grant 1% crit for each combo point spent for 5 seconds. Okay, so you can get your finishing moves give you, assuming you always use 5 combo points, it will give you 5% crit for 5 seconds. Okay, it's a bit underwhelming seeing all the others with all these higher numbers, but we'll have to see how it plays out. For Guardian, we have Gore has a 5% chance to trigger. Gore also increases Mangle's damage by 10%. That's okay. It's nothing too crazy. And the 4-set Mangle and Trash deal 5% increased damage. That's again only 5%. Mangle heals you for 100% of the damage it deals. Now that's good. I do like that part. I do think, I'm not sure if 5% is enough, as others get a lot more, but again, we will have to see how it plays out. For Restoration, Rejuvenation, Life Bloom, Wild Growth, Efflorescence, and Tranquility's chance to critically heal is increased by 10%, so 10% increased crit for those spells. Efflorescence crit heals increase the healing of your next Wild Growth by 10%, stacking up 5 times. Life Bloom crit heals reduce the cooldown of Nature's Swiftness by 2 seconds. Now this is a cool one. You can basically just put Efflorescence on the ground, hope you get enough crits, stack up for Wild Growth, and then just have massive group healing with Wild Growth. That's really good. I really like that one, but it's really good. I think in both Raid and Mythic Plus, your group healing will just go up. So if you know there's a point where your group will take damage, where everyone will get damage, you can just pre-stack this buff, so your Wild Growth heals for more. Evoker. Now I haven't played with Evoker yet. I made one on the beta, but I haven't played it. For Devastation, your 2-set bonus increase the Empower Spells chance to critically strike by 5%, and Empower Spells increase your chance to critically strike by 5% for 6 seconds. Okay, so it just gives you a 5% crit for 6 seconds It's okay. It's not, again, only 5%, but not sure how the damage is yet. The tierset and power spells have a 25% chance to grant you 6 seconds of Fury of the Aspects without causing sated. Now I think Fury of the Aspects is the, seeing that it's called sated, I believe this is the Bloodlust or Heroism that Evokers will get. So if this is for the entire group, it will be amazing. If this is only for the Evoker itself, it's still pretty good for the Evoker. But it's pretty strong. So basically once every 4 casts, roughly, you will get it for 6 seconds. It's pretty good. For Preservation, and power spells increase Reversion's chance to critically heal. And for the tierset, Reversion, healing has a chance to cause your next living flame to cast instantly and deal 20% increased damage or healing, stacking up 2 times. Again, a buff that stacks up for a healer, pretty nice. Then the Hunters. For Beast Mastery, kill command damage is increased by 10%, and it has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown on Barbed Shot. That's pretty good for Beast Mastery, I think. I believe they use a lot of kill commands, so it's pretty good. Barbed Shot has a 50% chance to make your next Cobra Shot or Multi-Shot consume no focus. Okay, that's pretty good. 50% is pretty big, seeing that other things only get a 5% crit, 5% damage buff. This could be a really good one. Looks like a fun one to play around with. For Marksmanship, now I did read this one before, and I do think this is pretty strong. The Arcane Shot and Multi-Shot critical hits cause your next aimed shot to cast 50% faster and cause the target to bleed for 20% damage dealt over 6 seconds. Now it doesn't say it stacks, so if you have 1 stack you probably just instantly use it on aimed shot. Then the tierset, ranged auto attacks have a 10% chance to give your next Arcane Shot or Multi-Shot 100% chance to critically hit. That's insane. 10% chance to give your Arcane Shot, Multi-Shot, yeah. So 1 in 10 hits, basically you get an Arcane Shot or Multi-Shot that will crit, guaranteed. And the critical hit gives your aim shot a faster cast. Pretty nice. Survival. Raptor Strike, Mongoose Strike, Carve, and Butchery damage is increased by 10%. So all the melee abilities. I believe Carve and Butchery are AoE, and Mongoose Strike, Raptor Strike are single target. And those same abilities have a 10% chance to make your next Raptor Strike, Mongoose Strike, Carve, or Butchery cost no focus. Okay, so a bit more damage and a possibility to cost no focus, so you can cast it again. Then we have Mage. The 2 set bonus for Arcane is for each Arcane charge, Arcane Blast critical strike chance is increased by 5%. And Arcane Explosion critical strike chance is increased by 3%. Now again, this is only a 5% and 3%, but this one stacks with your Arcane charges, so you will get up higher than just the 5%. And the 4 set bonus, when Arcane Blast or Arcane Explosion critically strikes at least 1 target, the critical strike chance of your next Arcane Barrage is increased by 10% up to 4 stacks. So again, it stacks. Pretty nice. If you play with a lot of crit already, I think this could be a lot of fun. For Fire, Pyroblasts and Flame Strike cast with Hot Streak deal 10% increased damage. Fire Blast, Phoenix Flames, and Fireball deal 10% increased damage, and their chance to critically strike is increased by 10%. Now this is nice. I like it. For Frost, the Ice Lance and Frozen Orb damage is increased, and Consuming Fingers of Frost increase your Blizzard damage by 25% and Frostbolt damage by 50% for 6 seconds. I do like these things. It has both AoE damage and single target damage, so it works in raid and Mythic Plus, but also in Mythic Plus on packs, trash mobs, but also on bosses where you probably only need single target, which is really good. Then for monks, Brewmaster. Hitting an enemy with Tiger Palm or Spinning Crane Kick grants Brewmaster's Rhythm. Increasing damage dealt and reducing damage taken by 1%, stacking up. So that's a 4% increased damage and reduced damage taken. It's okay. Again, it's not too much. It is for 10 seconds, so it's a bit longer than some others that we had. But the tierset bonus for each stack of Brewmaster's Rhythm, Purifying Brew clears 3% of your damage delayed with stagger. So if you stack it up 4 times, you will delay 12% of the damage delayed by stagger. That's pretty good. It's again another way of reducing your damage. Then Mistweaver, healing from your enveloping mist. Essence Font and Vivify is increased by 15% on targets with Renewing Mist. That's nice. You probably always have Renewing Mist on the main target that you want to heal. Essence Font and Vivify healing are increased by 10%, and Renewing Mists on target healed by Essence Font are extended by a second for each heal. Okay, so you can extend your heals. It has increased healing. And with Renewing Mist on it, you also have increased healing from these for 15%. It's pretty good. It looks really strong. But again, we'll have to see how it's tuned and how everything works out. But right now it looks really good. Then for Windwalker, the tierset bonus, Fist of Fury, increase the damage dealt of your next 2 Rising Sun kicks or Spinning Crane kicks by 30%. So again, we have the single target and AoE damage increases. The tierset Fist of Fury now enhances your next 3 Rising Sun kicks or Spinning Crane kicks, and enhanced kicks increase your versatility during your next Fist of Fury. So you can get an increased verse, 15% increased verse, so that's a flat 15% damage buff as well. That's nice, it's pretty good. Again, Windwalkers might be really strong. Paladins, Holy Shock, increase the critical hit chance of your next heal within 10 seconds by 10%. When your direct healing spell critically strike, your next Holy Shock deals 30% increased damage or healing. I'm not really too known with Holy Paladins or Paladins in general. I haven't played with a lot of them. I don't really like to play Paladin. So I don't know if this is really good or not. It looks pretty good. Increased critical hit chance, 10%. It's decent. When your direct healing spells critically strike, your next Holy Shock deals 30% increased damage or healing. That's pretty good. So if you play with a little bit of crit, you can have pretty big Holy Shocks. And if they crit, you will have an increased critical hit chance on the next heal. So you can basically, if you crit this, you get the Holy Shock increased heal or damage. It's pretty nice. Protection, Avenger Shield grants you versatility of light, increasing the versatility of you and your closest ally by 4%. This is a cool one. So Avenger, you will just spam Avenger Shields and just increase your versatility by 4% and the closest ally. So that's damage reduction and increased damage done, which is pretty good for in all situations. It is only 4 seconds, but still it's good. The tierset bonus, casting Hammer of the Righteous, Blessed Hammer, increased your parry by a percentage for a set amount of seconds and extends the duration of versatility of light by 1 second. This is cool. Extending the duration of the tierset bonus. In a lot of sets, you can see that the 2-set bonus and 4-set bonus work really good together. I really like that. It's the same with the talent trees. There are a lot of talents that work perfectly together with other talents, so you can make some amazing setups. And now having the set bonuses, the talents and set bonuses will work amazing. There will be really cool things you can do. For the Retribution set, Blade of Justice and Judgment grant Crusader Strength, increasing the damage of your next Crusader strike, or Consecrate by 100%, stacking up 2 times. So the damage of your next Crusader strike or Consecrate. Okay, that's again single target AoE, which is nice. When you consume Crusader Strength, the damage of your next Blade of Justice is increased for each stack of Crusader Strength consumed. So again, it works really well together with the first set bonus. It's pretty good. Priest. For Discipline we have casting Power Word Shield, increase the effectiveness of your next direct damage or healing spell by 10%. Penance increases the strength of your next Power Word Shield by 100% of its damage or 30% of its healing. That's pretty nice. So your damage will be increased, damage or healing. And then if you use Penance, your shield will be increased by 100% of your damage or 30% of your healing. It's pretty cool. For Holy, casting Prayer of Mending, reduce the cast time of your next heal or Prayer of Healing by 1 second and increases their Holy Word cooldown reduction effect by 2 seconds. And the 4-set bonus, when Holy Word Serenity or Holy Word Sanctify finish their cooldown, you gain 15% critical strike chance for 8 seconds. This is 15% in 8 seconds. We had a lot of others that gained 5 or 10% for 4 to 6 seconds, so it's pretty good. And for Shadow, Mind Blast, increase the damage of your next Devouring Plague or Mind Sear by 20%, stacking up 3 times. Devouring Plague and Mind Sear increase your haste by 5% for 8 seconds. Then we go on to Rogue. Now I do not know anything about Rogue, I've never played it, I have no clue what most of the abilities that I see in here do, but we'll still go over it. For Assassination, the 2-set bonus, Venom will also increase your weapon poisons damage by 10%. So this is just a straight up buff after you use Venom. Or something like that. Looks to be really good. I'm not sure how much damage the weapon poisons do, but looks good. When your weapon poisons deal direct damage, you have a 50% chance to gain septic wounds, increasing your bleed damage by 2% for 8 seconds, stacking up 5 times. So you can increase your bleed damage and your weapon poisons damage by 10%. Looks to be pretty good. But again, I don't play Rogue. I have no clue about Rogue, so... For Outlaw, Dispatch increases the damage of your next Sinister Strike or Ambush by 20% per combo point spent. And the 4-set bonus, half cost uses of Pistol Shot granted by Sinister Strike increase the damage of your next Dispatch by 50%. Then for Subtlety we have Eviscerate and Black Powder. Increase the damage and critical strike chance of your next Backstab, Shadow Strike or Shuriken Storm by 2% per combo point spent. So assuming you will always use 5, that will be 10%, which is nice. And the 4-set is again Backstab, Shadow Strike and Shuriken Storm. Critical strikes increase the damage of Eviscerate and Rupture by 15% and the damage of Black Powder by 8% for 6 seconds. Looks to be pretty good. Then we go to Shaman. The Elemental 2-set bonus, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning and Lava Burst increase the damage of your next Earth Shock or Earthquake by 2 to 3%, stacking up 10 times. So that's 20 to 30% increased damage on Earth Shock or Earthquake. Again, AoE and single target. Pretty nice. Casting Earth Shock or Earthquake increases your mastery by 10% for 10 seconds. I like this one. Looks to be a really cool one, and you want to use these abilities to make sure you get the Maelstrom for the Earthquake or Earth Shock. So no matter how you play, you will use this, which is pretty nice. For Enhancement, Storm Strike increases the damage of your next Lava Lash by 10% and causes it to generate an additional stack of Maelstrom weapon. That's good. More Maelstrom weapon generation, more damage on your Lava Lash. So I assume in the first season I will probably go with a Lava Lash Primordial Wave and Primal Lava Actuators build. More haste, more Maelstrom weapon generations from this to use on the lightning bolts with Primordial Wave, and then more damage on the Lava Lash, which you can also buff with Primal Lava Actuators. That looks really good. Then the Force bonus, consuming Maelstrom weapon stacks reduce the cooldown of Storm Strike, Lava Lash, Crash Lightning, Flame Shock or Frost Shock by 0.5 seconds per stack. Now there is this is a weird one. So if you play the Maelstrom talent, that you can use 10 Maelstrom on one of the abilities to make it even stronger. You have 10 stacks, you reduce it cooldown by 5 seconds. It could be nice if you play Ice Strike and Hailstorm, if you get the Frost Shock down. It could also be nice if you get the Storm Strike or Lava Lash lowered, because they deal damage. Crash Lightning, that would suck a little bit, as you can already, in single target it deals basically no damage and has nothing to do in single target basically. But Flame Shock would be a bad one as well, but Frost Shock, Storm Strike or Lava Lash would be good. And then again, Frost Shock with Hailstorm will be good for AoE, Flame Shock for single target, or Flame Shock and then spread it with Lava Lash's AoE again. Crash Lightning is AoE, makes the rest of these AoE as well, but Storm Strike Lava Lash is just pure single target, unless you have Crash Lightning. I do think this is a pretty good set. I like it. Now let's go on to Restoration. While Healing Stream Totem or Cloudburst Totem is active, your chance to critically strike is increased by 10%. Again, an increased chance to crit. And you probably have Healing Stream Totem or Cloudburst Totem up most of the times, I believe. And the tierset, when these expire or when they die, you gain 10% haste for 10 seconds. So first you get crit as long as they're up, and then haste for 10 seconds when they expire. It's pretty good, just flat out secondary stats. Then we have 2 more to go, Warlock and Warrior. For Affliction, when Agony grants you a Soul Shard, you have a chance to gain Cruel Inspiration, increasing your haste by 12% for 6 seconds. The tierset bonus, Cruel Inspiration, also grants 2 charges of Cruel Epiphany, up to 5 charges. Each charge of Cruel Epiphany increase the damage of your next Malefic Rupture or Seed of Corruption by 40%. I have played a little bit of Warlock, but it's a long time ago, so I have no clue if this is any good. It looks okay. Increased haste and increased damage on Malefic Rupture or Seed of Corruption. For Demonology, Demon Bolt and Fellstorm damage is increased. Just flat buff in those damage. I assume Demon Bolt will be single target and Fellstorm will be your AoE Felguard Blade Storming thing. The 4-set bonus, Demon Bolt, has a chance to make your next Hand of Gul'dan instant and deal 50% increased damage. Now that's good, but I don't know how big this chance is. It only says it has a chance, but it doesn't say how big the chance is. It shouldn't be too big, I think, otherwise this will be way too strong, as it increased the damage and make it instant. But we'll have to see. Destruction, consuming soul shards, has a chance to grant you Chaos Maelstrom, increasing your critical strike chance by 10% for 10 seconds. That's nice. During Chaos Maelstrom, your Chaos Bolt, Conflagrate and Incinerate critical strikes explode on the target, dealing 2 to 10% of the damage dealt to enemies within 8 yards. Damage is reduced beyond 5 targets. It's a nice way to add damage, but in pure single target, I wonder if this is doing anything. It will explode, but will your target that you hit with a critical hit also get the buffed damage or not? It would be bad if your target, if you hit a crit, it explodes, but it's single target and your target just doesn't get any damage from it. I assume it does, otherwise this is pretty useless in pure single target fights. Now I do not know if there are big pure single target fights, but still. Then Warrior, the arms bonus, Mortal Strike and Cleave damage and chance to critically strike is increased. That's good, pretty good. And the 4-set bonus is Mortal Strike, Cleave and Execute critical strikes increase your damage and critical strike chance by 5%. So flat out damage and crit chance increase. And then again, if you have critical strikes, you increase the rest of your just an overall crit and damage. It's good. For Fury, Execute chance to critically strike is increased by 10%. Sudden Death's chance to reset the cooldown of Execute and make it usable on any target regardless of health is greatly increased. Now these work pretty good together, but I'm not sure what they mean with greatly increased. Is that 10%? Is it 50%? Who knows? Then for Protection, the last one in the list, Revenge grants you Vanguard's Determination, increasing your damage done and reducing damage you take by 4% for 5 seconds. Again, a tank that gets a damage reduction, which is pretty good. And during Vanguard's Determination, gain Ignore Pain equal to 10% of the damage you deal. I do think this is a pretty good set. I kind of like it. I like the damage reduction part as well. And the Ignore Pain is pretty nice as well, I think. All in all, I do think they are less impactful as some of the sets that we have right now on live. But on the other hand, there are some really cool things in there, some things to play around with. Now I haven't seen all the talent trees, I haven't checked everything out, and I don't know all the classes, but for Shemi I do have some ideas in mind that I will have to test to see if it works. And it might change up my build that I will probably play for both dungeons and raiding. But we'll have to see when I get my hands on the set and try things out. That was it for this video, guys. Hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments down below. What tier set do you like most? Now I have to say I really like the let's see, I think I like the Unholy DK one, maybe even the most out of all of them. But I also really like the Windwalker set and the Enhancement Shemi, but we'll have to see how everything works out, how all the numbers will be tuned, and see how much damage everything does. Until then, my decision for my main will still be my Enhancement Shaman. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below what set do you like the most. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.